Hello everyone, welcome to this lecture 4 of week 4 for this course Metrics and Analytics of Marketing. Over the last few sessions, we had been discussing about various metrics associated with customer segmentation. We discussed the metrics with the help of certain frameworks such as RFM, recency, frequency and monetary framework, and then we also discussed about the ABC framework for customer segmentation. We clearly understood how all the customers are not equally valuable for the organizations, rather we need to identify the customers based on the value that they can contribute for the business. With the emergence of digital spaces throughout the world, digital marketing is becoming one of the important aspect of a business. Now, we need to understand the metrics associated with customer segmentation, especially in the context of digital marketing. We will dive into details in this particular topic in our today's session. So, let us start the topic with the introduction to customer segmentation in digital marketing. Let us recap the very definition of customer segmentation. What does it refer to? Basically, at its core, customer segmentation refers to the process through which a heterogeneous market is divided into groups, where within the group elements will have homogeneity. Dividing the heterogeneous market into homogeneous group is what we call as customer segmentation. Within the groups, there will be people who are similar in nature. So, the groups can be formed, let us say, in terms of demographic variables, the groups can be formed in terms of geographic, psychographic, value based or behavioral variables. Now, coming to this customer segmentation in digital marketing, it is the strategic process of dividing a broader audience into smaller actionable segment based on the shared characteristics such as behavior, interest, demographics and engagement pattern. So, if you look at this definition, the definition is almost same as the definition for customer segmentation. Only thing is that we are embedding it with digital aspects such as engagement patterns. What are the different benefits associated with customer segmentation in digital marketing? First thing, that it allows the marketers to, number one, tailor the campaigns for relevance and impact. If we go with the same campaign for all our customers in the digital space, as their needs and requirements are different, as they belong to different cohorts, let us say in terms of age, in terms of income, in terms of professions, so their choices will be different. So, customer segmentation in digital marketing helps us tailor the campaigns as per their relevance and as per their interest. It makes the campaign more impactful. Second one is that it helps us allocating the resources more efficiently. What content should go for which segment? What content would be liked by which segment? So, if we have a better understanding about these facts, then definitely there is lesser waste of time, effort and money. So, resource allocation happens more efficiently. And thirdly, it drives the higher customer satisfaction and conversion. Once we have a better understanding about our customers, if the content is gelling well with the emotional bonding or emotional perception of the customers, then in that case there will be better connectivity between the brand and the customer, and it will result in more business value. It will result in more conversion. It will result in more engagement, and ultimately it will result in more revenue and profit. Now, let us look at the significance of customer segmentation in digital marketing. First one, the customer segmentation in digital marketing enhances the targeting accuracy. As the segmentation process itself shed a light on the characteristics associated with the various segments, and by this time we already understand who are our fit customers, which is the segment which fits well with our product appealing, with our product offer. Then we can enhance the targeting accuracy, right. So, if we take our advertisement to those people with whom we will have a better alignment, then in that case the overall conversion for our product with this campaign will be much higher, and that is why, that is how it enhances the overall targeting accuracy for our marketing initiatives. Second one is that it aligns content to audience's needs. We know what the millennials wants. We know how the millennials or the Gen Z are consuming the content in social media, in online platform. So, once we know that, once we understand the patterns through which they are consuming the social media content or any online content, then in that case we can tailor our content so that it can establish a connectivity with the customers, with various customers. Next one is it facilitates product and service optimization. Optimization here refer to maximization of the value under certain set of constraints. The constraints may be in terms of competitive landscape or in terms of regulatory imposition. And value is maximized by changing certain decision set of decision variables such as price, quality and other features associated with the product or the service. Next, the customer segmentation in digital marketing also enhances the marketing efficiency. We understand what exactly works, what does not work. In my first class itself, I said that marketing is no longer a gut feeling. Marketing managers are increasingly accountable for all their activities, for all the expenditure that is being incurred in the process. Now, we understand which particular marketing initiative will give better MROI, marketing return on investment, for which particular segment. If we have that clarity in mind, then our marketing efficiency is improved. Next, the segmentation process also improves the customer experiences. We already understand through the segmentation process, we can easily identify who are more likely to buy our product, who will stay with our brand for a longer period of time, who will create more value for our brand. If we have these ideas, then accordingly we can get engaged with them. We can come up with personalized messages for our most valued customers. For less valued customers, probably we can use some automated tools such as automated newsletters, automated emails in order to just maintain a relationship with them. So, overall it improves the customer experiences. Then last one is that it enables the predictive and data driven marketing. See, in the entire process we have a better understanding about various segments. All the segments are accurately targeted. As we have better understanding, we can predict their future behavior in a better way. Therefore, the entire process of segmentation in digital marketing enables the predictive and data driven marketing. Whatever decision we take, it is based on the data rather than our gut feeling. Though experience may have some say in the decision making process, but more weightage is given to data driven facts. One example that we can take, how segmentation becomes a fruitful process in digital marketing, is from Spotify, the famous music platform. Spotify uses segmentation based on listening habits, demographics and the device used to recommend the playlist, run the targeted ads and notify the users about various concerts or events that is happening in his or her local area. and thus increasing the overall engagement with the user. Those who, I mean most of us who used to drive, we used to use this application called Spotify for listening to music. This particular application used to capture all our data regarding what type of music we are playing most of the time, what are the musics that we used to skip, and let us say at what time of the day we used to listen to music, or what, I mean which day of the week we used to listen to rock music, or let us say heavy metal. So, all these patterns are being recognized, and then accordingly they will come up with their own customized playlist, which is likely to be well in alignment with our own choices. So, these are the significance of customer segmentation, especially in the context of digital marketing. Now, let us look at the various bases of customer segmentation. As we said, it can be, the customer can be segmented based on demographic, the customers can be segmented based on behavioral. So, when we discussed about the ABC framework, it was nothing but a behavioral kind of customer segmentation. Customer segmentation can be done by psychographic variables, lifestyle, habit, interest, etc. Then customer segmentation can be done through channel choices, through which channel the customer used to purchase the product. Is it through digital channel or is it through physical channel? It can be through technographic variables such as technology adoption rate, then technology readiness, technology maturity. So, all these factors will come into picture. And other segmentation metrics are conversion metrics. What is the click through rate, what is the mail opening rate. So, all this metrics will come into picture. Now, let us start our discussion with demographic metrics. What is demographic metrics? What is demography? It is related to a person's personal characteristics such as age, gender, income, education level, occupation, religion, family size, marital status, etc. Demographic segmentation is a marketing strategy that divides a target market into smaller, more defined group characteristics. It involves dividing the customers based on observable personal characteristics such as age. This product is for young people, or this product will fit well with the young people as compared to older people, right? Or let us say if somebody tries to sell an insurance product, so probably this insurance product is for people who are married and having a kid, and let us say who are above the age of 40. Gender, the products are divided based on gender. We can take the example of fair and lovely and fair and handsome. Implicitly, many products are, positioned based on the income level. Products can be positioned based on educational level, occupation, and let us say some products may also be portrayed in terms of religious belief. The moment it is, sometimes the product within the package there is something called halal meat. So, what is this? This is something which is related to a religious belief, and probably the company is trying to penetrate to the market based on the religious belief. Then family size, and many products, many brands talk about the nuclear family, that this particular product will be more beneficial for a nuclear family. Many products talks about what will happen if you are married and something unexpected happens to you, especially when we talk about the term insurance product, right. So, in this way the market can be divided into various groups based on the difference within these variables. Remember that it is not always necessary to divide the market just based on one variable. It can be a combination of multiple variables. Now, applications of demographic metrics in digital marketing. One application all of us can see, those who have used, let us say, sponsored advertisement in social media, there can be campaign targeting. Let us say you want to run a Facebook campaign. You can precisely define who your target audience is. What is the age group of the target audience? What is the location, I mean geographic location of the target audience? Then let us say you can also add certain psychographic and behavioral variables. What should be the occupation of our target audience? So, this way we can do the customer profiling and run our campaign. If we run our campaign accordingly, then normally the conversion rates becomes better. For example, impression to click through rate to sign up rate to marketing qualified customers, marketing qualified to sales qualified, and ultimately actual purchase. So, the drop off becomes minimal and conversion becomes better. One example is that Facebook ads demographic targeting. If we talk about various tools, the tools might include Facebook Ad Manager, Google Analytics, and CRM platforms such as HubSpot. Now, moving to the demographic metrics in digital marketing. We already know the demographic variables. Now, the digital marketing metrics can be invoked along with the demographic variables. One is, let us say, the click through rate by the age group. Remember, in the marketing funnel class we discussed about different metrics such as click through rate. What we do through the marketing funnel, we try to understand how many customers have encountered, how many people have encountered this advertisement. Now, out of these people who has encountered this advertisement, how many have actually clicked through it? So, this was the marketing funnel. Now, what we can also capture is like category wise, like by age group. How many people from the age group between 25 to 40 has encountered this particular campaign, and then what is the click through rate for this particular age group? What is the sign up rate for this particular age group people? So, this can be used for better insights. Let us say for this age group between 25 to 40 years, the click through rate is higher, the overall conversion rate is higher. Then probably what we can say is that our product is gelling better with this particular age group compared to other age groups. So, this is a new insight, probably it will give us from next time onwards, probably we can come up with a strategy which will target this particular age group people rather than all. Then bounce rate by region. From a particular area, let us say the bounce percentage is higher. Then in that case, we can take interventions like, let us say there can be a possibility that from that particular region, the cultural assimilation with the culture is, with the website is lacking. So, probably it is time for us to revamp the website. Probably we need to have a facility of translating the content into the local languages or making it aligned with the local belief system. So, those things can be initiated in order to improve the conversion rate. Then another example can be, another instance can be session by gender, whether male users are spending more time on my website or the female users are spending more time. So, all these metrics, all these granular metrics will give you better insights and you can come up with a better strategy. Next comes the behavioral segmentation matrix. A RFM matrix is a behavioral segmentation matrix. Behavioral segmentation divides the customers based on their interactions with brand, such as buying behavior, product uses, what is the extent of uses of the product, then whether you are a heavy user, medium user or light user, then decision making patterns, how the decisions are being taken, who are the influencers in the decision making process, and it also looks into loyalty. Some of the variables in behavioral segmentation may include purchase frequency that we have discussed in detail in our RFM matrix class, then usage rate, whether the user is a heavy user, medium user or light user. Then loyalty status, what is the share of requirement the person is purchasing with this brand for this product category. It is something, it is somehow different from uses. Uses may be how, what is the absolute quantity a person is purchasing. Loyalty is something like what is the percentage of share that is being fulfilled by this particular brand. Then next comes the product benefit short. So, what are the benefits that you are trying to derive from the product? Is it, are you looking for value for money, or are you looking for performance? Are you a price sensitive customer, or are you a quality conscious customers? So, based on this product benefit short, I mean I can have a different product for people who are looking for value for money. I can have a different kind of product for people who are looking for performance and comfort, right. So, depending on that we can divide the customers. Then occasion based uses, who are the customers who only used to purchase this product only during the Diwali or Christmas. Then last one is the purchase readiness or decision stage, which stage in the customer decision making journey you are into, whether it is in the awareness stage, it is in the interest stage, it is in the evaluation stage, it is in the purchase stage, or it is in the post purchase stage. So, these are the variables through which we can actually divide the market into homogeneous group based on the customer's actual behavior. Now, coming to this behavioral matrix, especially in the digital space. Some of the matrix that may, I mean some of the simplest form of matrix, especially in the context of digital space, might include page views, number of pages that is viewed, time on the site, what is the average time that is spent on in a single session, and then how many clicks are being made and how many ultimately purchase is being made. Then RFM, recency frequency and monetary model. So, this is a perfect model which is an instant of behavioral segmentation. Then use of web and app analytics tools. Now, looking at this key behavioral KPIs, it can be the engagement score. So, engagement score we will be discussing in the subsequent class in detail. It is something like a score that is being assigned for some defined activities. For example, you will get 1 score for opening the email, you can get let us say score 2 for clicking through the link, and you can get a score 3 for signing up in the link. Then next comes the repeat purchase rate, how many, what is the percentage of people who are purchasing the brand again. Then ultimately the average time spent on the site. So, all these are key behavioral KPIs, especially in the context of digital marketing and in digital space. Then next comes the psychographic matrix, right. So, what is psychographic matrix? It involves the psychographic variables. So, these are basically matrix which is not related to your income or age, it is more into who you are from inside, who you are as a person from inside. Unlike demographics variables or behavioral variables, psychographics look into the personal traits, then lifestyle choices, social status, hobbies and interests, and values and beliefs. These variables actually helps the brands create targeted campaigns that resonate on a personal level. So, we will look into each of these variable one by one. First one is the personal trait. These are the enduring characteristics that shape the people behavior and how people behave and how people make the decisions. You can think about people who are extroverted, you can think about people who are introverted, you can think about people who are adventurous, you can think about people who are cautious. Marketers basically use certain existing theories or models such as big 5 personality models, which include openness, coincidentiousness, then extraversion, agreeableness and neuroticism to segment the groups. So, these are basically personality traits, and based on these personality traits we try to divide the market and form the segments, right. People who are open and people who are not so open, we will divide them in different categories. One example from the business dynamics that we can take is that when we talk about this famous brand called Red Bull, they target the high energy and risk taking extroverts with the ads showing extreme sports like let us say Formula 1 and skydiving. One of their slogan is that Red Bull gives you wings. So, what does it say? What does it imply? It implies, it actually makes an appeal to those who crave the excitement. On the other hand, when we talk about a brand like Calm, have you heard about a brand called CALM, which is a kind of popular brand in the United States, and it is nothing but a meditation application, meditation app. So, basically this particular brand targets the introverted people who loves peace and then who wants to be inside, and let us say it promotes activities like yoga and all. So, their campaigns actually it portrays some of the serene visuals and testimonials about reducing the anxiety, drawing in people who value introspection over adrenaline. So, these two brands are totally different, they are for different segments. Next, coming to this lifestyle choices. So, this is about how people live a day to day life. What are their habits? How they spend a typical day? What is their routine? What are their priorities? Most of the time it is tied to a framework called AIO, which stands for activities, interest and opinions. One instance we can take is that active lifestyle might include the gym goers or the travelers. On the other hand, the passive lifestyle can be for people who look for home entertainment. Another example that we can take is from a brand called Patagonia, the outdoor apparel brand. So, what does Patagonia advocates for? Is for eco-conscious people. This brand is for eco-conscious, nature lover people who are minimalistic in nature, right. So, they ran one campaign called Don't Buy This Jacket. So, this was to make an appeal to those people who are minimalistic in nature, who are eco-conscious, and why they are saying that don't buy this jacket, ki rather than wasting more resources or consuming more resources, you can just repair it and work towards the sustainability of our planet. But on the other hand, if we look at the brand like Netflix, whom are they targeting? Probably they are recommending a web series, they are recommending a particular episode to those people who used to work in the corporate life, whose lifestyle is busy and probably in the evening they want to come and relax at home for some time. Now, coming to this social status. Most of the time we used to have a misperception that social status is only about the income. Yes, income can be one of the aspect of social status, but it is not entirely social status. It can be, it is regarding the perceived class, it is regarding the prestige, it is regarding the social standing you have in the society. Basically, the people in the higher social strata might seek exclusivity, while others value affordability and community. So, when we talk about this Rolex watch, so it is for higher social strata. So, they will definitely look for exclusivity. Now, on the other hand, if we take the example of Walmart or Smart Bazaar in Indian context, it is for those people who are actually looking for value for money. So, social status of these two types of people are different. Now, moving to the hobbies and interests. So, these are passions that fill people's free time, specific activities they pursue for fun or fulfillment. Marketers tap into these niche communities and try to make a niche, try to capture a competitive advantage over their competitors. Finally, coming to values and interest, right. So, what is value? Value is related to ethics, value is related to your belief system. So, what do you value? Do I value a sustainable practice? Though I have money, I am not in favor of consumerism. That is why my product uses are minimalistic in nature, and probably I will be ready to pay a premium for a brand who actually which is eco-friendly in terms of its production and maintaining the supply chain, right. So, these are the different variables, psychographic variables through which we can divide the market, and believe me, if we can correctly incorporate the psychographic variables into our segmentation process, then the results will be much better. You can derive more revenue, you can derive more profit for your business. Understanding the mindset. So, as you can see in the slide that on the left hand side there are KPIs for psychographic matrix, and on the right hand side we have the collection methods. So, some of the KPIs include ad resonance scores, engagement rate by interest group, and the sentiment analysis matrix, and collection method includes social media listening and psychographic surveys. Basically, when we talk about this matrix which is called ad resonance score, this measures the emotional connection, how much the ad feels like your own, how much the brand is or the advertisement is able to emotionally connect to you. If we take the example of Cadbury's Dairy Milk, the campaign that they ran, Kuch Mitha Ho Jaye. So, it is all about family time, it is all about family celebration, it is all about how we embrace life in our within our day to day life, right. So, it can be we can use Cadbury as a celebration during our promotion, let us say during a birthday party, during a wedding news, etc. So, this is much more into life than just selling a product. Then next comes the engagement rate by interest group. So, what we do here, what are the aspect that is covered under this matrix is the engagement in the digital space, that is likes, comments, shares, saves, downloads. So, all these things will, all these counts will come into picture. Then comes this sentiment analysis matrix. So, sentiment analysis is nothing but trying to capture the sentiment about a particular topic, about a particular advertisement in the social media or digital media space. There can be a, let us say there is a lexicon in place. So, if you talk about a particular topic, then that particular topic there will be some words which will be assigned as positive, there will be some words which will be assigned as negative, there will be some words which will be assigned as neutral, and based on that we try to calculate a score, and this is what is called sentiment analysis. Now, how can we collect the data? One is listening to the social media. There are many web crawlers, there are many tools through which we can extract the information from the social media and run our analysis through the tools such as sentiment analysis or natural language processing in order to understand the consumers' evolving needs and requirement, right, and based on that we can segment the market. And then this can also be done through psychographic surveys. Now, next comes the different category of matrix which is called the technographic segmentation matrix. This technographic segmentation is a market segmentation approach that group the consumers or businesses based on their technology uses, behavior for the technology and preferences for various technologies. So, some of the metrics associated with technographic segmentation are, first one is technology adoption, technology spending, digital maturity, then tech behavior and usage pattern and technographic firmographics. What is technology adoption? Technology adoption is the rate at which people are embracing a particular technology, right. So, whether you are a innovator, whether you are a early adopter, whether you belong to early majority, late majority or laggards. So, this defines the technology adoption for a particular group, right. Whether I will be considered as a opinion leader or not in embracing a technology. Then technology spending, whether I am a tech savvy person or not, whether I am ready to spend significant amount for using technology or not. Then digital maturity. If I take the example of Paytm, so they came up with, let us say urban tech savvy people, they come up with certain products, certain complex and advanced products, but for let us say rural and people who are not so tech savvy, only this UPI transaction. So, that is what can be their target. Then tech behavior and usage patterns, to what extent I use the technology, whether I just intend to use the technology or I am actually using the technology. So, based on that, which stage in the technology adoption process I am into, based on that the customers can be divided, right. So, these are the variables which are important, because what I will say is that every product has its own life cycle. So every technology will have its own life cycle. Now, at different life cycle of the product, there will be different categories of customers. Let us say I am an innovator or I am a early adopter of technology, right. So, I will use the product which is the latest one. You cannot expect me to keep using the outdated product over and over, but there will be some other people who will, the price of the product will reduce and they will adopt then. They are not early adopters, probably they are laggards, they are late majority. Now, looking into these data sources for technographic segmentation matrix. One is web scraping, scrape the data from various websites, various digital platforms. The data can also be captured from customer surveys. You conduct a survey, you design a set of questionnaires, check the reliability and validity of the questionnaires, do a pilot study. If it is working fine, then float it among the potential respondents. Then CRM and ERP data, customer relationship management data, enterprise resource planning data. So, you can also collect the data for technographic segmentation from CRM and ERP. Product usage analytics, there can be multiple tools, and ultimately the social listening tools. So, you can listen to the social media by capturing the hashtags. You can use certain tools and techniques in order to understand the sentiment about a topic. So, these are the various ways through which we can capture data. Now, we will conclude this class with a case study, and this case study is related to this company called Spotify. Spotify is a global leader in music streaming. It serves over 600 million users across diverse markets. With a vast dynamic content library and varying customer behaviors, Spotify needed to segment its audience effectively to deliver personalized experiences, improve music discovery, increase daily engagement, and ultimately reduce the customer churn. What was the objective? The objective was to develop a robust data-driven customer segmentation model using digital behavioral metrics. So, what did they look into? They looked into what are the type of music that you are listening to, what time of the day you used to listen to the music, what day of the week you used to listen to the music more, what are the musics you are skipping. So, all these informations are captured, and based on that the segmentation is done. Digital segmentation matrix. Spotify's data science and engineering teams collected and analyzed various digital metrics which included listening time per session, preferred genres and top artists, the skip rates and the repeat plays, then playlist creation frequency. So, all these metrics were taken into consideration in order to give you a better product experience. Then they also considered the device type uses, whether it is a mobile, desktop, smart speaker, TV apps, time of the day and day of the week, of the listening patterns, engagement with the personalized playlist. So, all this data were taken into consideration. Segmentation approach was Spotify applied the clustering algorithm like k-means and hierarchical clustering to behavioral data, resulting in 5 distinct customer segments. So, they discovered weekly explorers, genre loyalists, then podcast enthusiasts, weekend listeners and mobile first users. So, this particular case is a testament to the benefits associated with customer segmentation in digital marketing, right. So, I would like to conclude this session with a statement that without segmentation, digital marketing is a noise. With it, it becomes a strategy which is fruitful. Thank you. I will see you in the next class.